Brittany Brammer, and today I'm going to talk to you about Hang Up and Drive. Hang Up and Drive is started by a lady named JC Good, who in 2008 was in a car crash due to a distracted driver on their cell phone. In the car crash, both of her parents were killed, and since her recovery, JC has been talking to people all over the country, trying to educate them about driving and being on your cell phone, whether it be texting or just having conversation on the phone. According to EdgarSnyder.com, about 660,000 people are on their cell phones at any given time during daylight. According to the same website, texting while driving makes a driver 23 times more likely to have a crash, and just by merely talking on the cell phone makes you 4 times more likely to crash. I personally think that it is completely unnecessary for anybody to be on their cell phone while driving. I am not completely innocent myself. Sometimes I occasionally look at my cell phone, although I try to make the conscious effort to not be on it. It's very dangerous. Not only is it putting you in danger, it's also putting other drivers or other people on the streets in danger. And that's very disrespectful that we are putting their lives at risk when it's not even their fault if we're on our cell phones. There's a big difference in texting and driving as there is being on the phone and driving. I personally don't think that just talking on your cell phone is a bad thing. I think that you should have a hands-free device such as Bluetooth, because reaching for your phone when it's ringing and then trying to answer the call and swiping your screen or doing whatever it is, that's taking your eyes off the road just as texting would. But just having the conversation is almost the same thing as just having somebody in the passenger seat to talk to. While texting and driving causes a 400% increase in time spent off the road. This is about 5 seconds, which is also enough time to travel the length of a football field. Now, in that time, you can have a lot of accidents, a lot can happen, you can miss a lot on the road. Even if it's not necessarily an accident, you could accidentally run a red light or a stop sign, and then you're setting yourself up to get a speeding ticket or a traffic ticket, whether you're not paying attention to certain rules because you were distracted by your cell phone. 94% of drivers support the bans on texting while driving, and 74% of drivers support the ban on having a handheld cell phone while driving. It sounds like a lot of people are agreeing with my opinion in that we shouldn't have cell phones while driving because it is very dangerous. It says that on EdgarSnyder.com that talking on a cell phone while driving can make a young driver's attention and reaction about the same as a 70-year-old. Now, I know that we all hate being behind that old man or old lady driving because they go so slow and it takes them a while to realize things. Well, whether you know it or not, while you're on your cell phone, you could be driving just like they are. So I think it's really disrespectful to put other people in harm as well as distract them while they're driving. If you're swerving all over the road or braking and then slamming on the gas and braking and then slamming on the gas, you're distracting other drivers even if they're not necessarily obviously going to be in a crash with you. Also, I think it depends on the insurance, but I know that my insurance personally doesn't cover an accident if it was my fault because of a choice I made, like texting or like being on my cell phone. Obviously, if it's just a mere accident crash, then they'll cover me. So I think it depends on the type of insurance and what insurance company you have. But that's another thing to think about, is that even if no one dies, you're still going to have to pay for damages to your vehicle, and that's not fun. You have to go through the whole process of having it in the shop, waiting for the insurance check or whatever it may be. So while you might think that that message is important while you're trying to respond to your friend about whatever, remember those commercials on the TV about people texting and driving and then getting in a crash, because you don't want your mom to be the one to read that text message you were trying to send when you were driving. You were supposed to be paying attention. So hopefully everyone can be safe and responsible on the road and keep others as well as yourself out of danger. All because JC Good decided to talk about Hang Up and Drive.